All right. Hello and welcome to this complimentary training on how to create a LMS site on high quality, affordable WordPress hosting. For those of you that are live with us on the call, let us know what your biggest challenge is with hosting in the chat, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on the live Zoom webinar. Let us know in the chat, what is your biggest question or challenge around hosting your WordPress LMS website? We've got a bunch of people jumping in the call. Let me know what your biggest hosting concerns are, or what you want to learn about hosting a learning management system with WordPress today. This presentation is going to be not a typical slideshow presentation. We're actually going to be navigating through a bunch of websites and building sites and looking at hosting. So this will be a fun, more demo style presentation. So please feel free to drop as many questions as you have in the chat or in the Q&A box. If you are watching this on the YouTube live stream, just let us know in the chat what's on your mind. Today's a big day. Also, LifterLMS 6.0 is rolling out today, so we have more on that coming soon. So there's just a lot going on as LifterLMS continues to evolve. So, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Antonio, who mentioned in the chat that hosting is a pain point to choose an LMS, but also multi-tenancy and an app and offering offline material. Cool. We're going to get into all that. So anybody else, just feel free to let us know what your biggest challenges are around hosting. I've got a really cool innovation in the WordPress LMS hosting space that I'm going to demo for you today. And yeah, and before I drop right in, I just want to say again, welcome to Antonio, Chris, Jose, Lindsay, Sandra. We've got some more people joining. Welcome. All right. So this is going to be an interactive session. Stay to the end. We are going to be drawing a winner from the people that are live on the call at the end. And from that, if you win, you're going to get a free year of a $120 LifterLMS add-on, or if you want to use that credit and apply it to something else, you can. So feel free to stick around to the end so that we can hook you up. This call is being recorded. We are going to get a replay out if you do need to jump for any reason. But that's it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started with you. And just one sec, just get one more thing ready for presentation to start. All right. Cool, there we go. All right, so I'm Chris. If you haven't seen me or heard of me yet, so I'm one of the founders of LifterLMS, which is a leading learning management system for WordPress. It helps you to create, launch, and scale high-value online learning platforms, whether you call it a course, a coaching program, a membership site, a remote school. It's all possible with LifterLMS. Let me know in the chat what you're building. What do you call it? What do you call it? Do you call it an academy? Do you call it a course? Do you call it an LMS? Do you call it a training portal? Let me know in the chat. LifterLMS is a advanced full stack all-in-one solution for creating a learning management system on top of WordPress. It's not a simple plugin that does one little thing. It does use a lot of resources because you're essentially building a whole learning experience with, user accounts and progress tracking and reporting and data and all these things on top of your WordPress site. So you need to have high quality hosting. The good news for you today is that people often want, the awesome hosting, high quality, fast, great support, but they also don't want to pay too much for it. So there was some innovation that has happened in the WordPress hosting space with a company called Cloudways that I'm going to get into it in a second. Before we jump to Cloudways, in terms of LifterLMS, our mission is to lift up others through education. We've got a great team over at LifterLMS with folks all over the place. You may see my face in a lot of places, but there's really a talented group of people who do all kinds of different things to make the magic happen at LifterLMS. So go check out our About page to learn more about the LifterLMS team. But to jump into the innovation with Cloudways. So it was a little bit ago that Cloudways reached out to us, and they wanted to work on solving one of the biggest challenges in WordPress, but specifically for online learning sites, which is kind of getting all the technical details set up for a hosting account with WordPress, with LifterLMS, so that somebody could quickly start launching an online school or a course or academy, whatever you want to call it. But here's the cool thing they did is they made it possible to basically try out their hosting and LifterLMS, everything that LifterLMS makes in the Infinity bundle for free for a trial period. I believe it's 3 days. So that way you get to try it out with LifterLMS, with sample content before, making the commitment to pay. So I'll put a link to this in the chat. That's the LifterLMS Cloudways offer for you. Basically, the way it works is you just click this button, fill out a form, and next thing you know, you enter a few details and you've got a fully baked site ready to go. With LifterLMS and the Infinity bundle installed. And you can see here down at the bottom, as of this recording, their pricing is very approachable for getting started with a high quality WordPress LMS hosting. So there are 3 main use cases for LifterLMS. It's being used. This is our case studies page. We call them success stories. And on this page, we have a blend of subject matter experts, schools, and businesses that use LifterLMS for various purposes to deliver their training. I know Angela here recently just switched to Cloudways and has been very happy with it. So even if you're already going and you're just not happy with your current hosting, Cloudways makes it super easy to switch as well. But here's the challenge with hosting and getting started with a WordPress LMS site. This is what a blank WordPress install looks like with nothing on it. Even getting to this point on a WordPress host can be challenging. So what Cloudways wanted to do is they wanted to just take all that pain of getting set up, done. You click the button, it builds your site in the background in about 5 minutes, and then you're ready to go. And if you decide to stay with the hosting, you just have to enter your credit card after you've already tried it out and made your decision. And if you're going to move forward with LifterLMS, you need to pop over to LifterLMS and grab a LifterLMS license. So this is what it looks like after you fill out the form, and Cloudways instantly for free with no credit card on file builds you out a hosting account, and you basically set up it sets up a WordPress install for you, which looks like this. So this is the site that you can get to. There's a link in the chat. Go click that link. Even if you already have hosting, even if you're just not sure you're ready to start, you can go look at all this, try it out completely for free. without putting a credit card on file. But essentially, this is what you get. And this is a site that already has LifterLMS and all the add-ons in the Infinity bundle installed. If you have any questions about, the various LifterLMS add-ons or which ones you need and all that kind of thing, feel free to drop that into the chat as well. But this is it. This is the site you get. So remember, this is what a regular WordPress site looks like. And then you got to figure everything out, getting all the plugins on there, getting your license key and all this stuff figured out, getting some sample content going, which is very different from getting going and having a fully built website. So if I go into the back of this one, this is just the LifterLMS Infinity bundle on a Cloudways site. If I go into plugins here, you can see all the different LifterLMS tools already installed, ready for you to try it out, make sure it's a fit. And if you're ready to move forward, you just pop over to lifterlms.com and grab the bundle that works for you. And then you get to keep the add-ons that you want to use. So Chris asked in the chat, do I need to sign up for the Infinity bundle before using Cloudways? You do not. So the whole point of the LifterLMS, launch LifterLMS on Cloudways in one click is you can test drive it for free, sign up. But if you want to decide to keep the Cloudways hosting, there's a place inside the Cloudways account where you do need to enter your credit card and confirm that you'd like to keep the hosting. And then if you'd like to move forward with LifterLMS, you can just go to lifterlms.com. We'll put a link to that in the chat to the pricing page. And essentially you can pick the bundle that works for you, either the Universe bundle or the Infinity bundle, which is everything that LifterLMS makes. And Chris is mentioning that he currently uses just the LifterLMS groups add-on, which is an add-on that is inside the Infinity bundle. And that's completely fine. All the pieces of LifterLMS can be purchased individually. If you like, if you go to software add-ons, you can see we've got our two bundles, but then we've got these individual add-ons, which either do advanced features like Chris was talking about with LifterLMS groups, which makes it possible to manage enrollments for groups and organizations and businesses and courses and manage those seats. And then we have, other more classical integration add-ons like Stripe or PayPal for setting up payments on your learning management system. So that's that. But as you get onto the Cloudways, you can actually, there's an Infinity bundle already installed here so that you can try all these things out. And then if it makes sense, like for you, Chris, if you'd like to upgrade to the Infinity bundle, just shoot an email over to LifterLMS and we will hook you up with a coupon to prorate the fact that you already have groups so that you can get your upgrade and save on the existing value of your license. So that's how that works. But I wanted to go over a few things with you. So just in seconds, well, actually it takes about 5 minutes to create the site, but then once you have your site, this is what it looks like. In this particular template, we're using a popular theme in the LifterLMS community called Cadence, but you can use LifterLMS with any theme that you like. But it's a great place to test out the experience. And I want to go over a few things to focus on related to LifterLMS and hosting and things to think about so that you can get here to this point and then go even further with setting up your learning management system. So there's really 5 focuses that I'm going to kind of tour for you around LifterLMS today. The first one is sales page design. The second one is how to think about sidebars in a learning management system. The third one is how to think about multimedia lesson content as you become a teacher and instructional designer. The fourth one is gamification, which is what today's release of LifterLMS 6.0 has a lot to do with. As particularly around the certificates and the achievement badges. And then the fifth piece we're going to look at is how to think about e-commerce and membership, controlling access, and all of those things. So the first thing I just want to note, to even remove even more friction when getting set up, it's popular in the course creation community to have kind of a main course, potentially somewhat expensive. Some people call it a signature course. And what LifterLMS has is this template that you can use. If you want to have a course sales page that's already done, already laid out well, even with a signature course instructional framework already in place here, so that you can essentially just come in here and replace our starter content with yours. And even down to these lesson videos explain how to use this particular method of instructional design to actually monetize what you know, your skills, your life experience, your passion, and actually turn it into an online course. So this is really a huge resource for fast tracking your instructional design and also laying out a high converting course sales page. We've even got the e-commerce components already ready to go, so that you can start thinking about how to do a one-time payment for your course, a payment plan, and potentially do an upsell of with more benefits like private coaching. So this template is ready for you. If you go with the Cloudways LifterLMS bundle starter, this template is already inside, already built, waiting for you, ready to go. But it can also, if you're already using LifterLMS and you go here, LifterLMS import, you can actually, this course template over here, you can actually import that in, and maybe you want to do multiple courses using that sales page technique. You just click that button, it's just going to add another one to your site. So, and just to highlight what those, what this does, when you're building a sales page, you want to have basically a message that really grabs the viewer. This area is called the promise. This is called a call to action button, which in this case, it just links down to the payment plan. And, you know, we've got our trust logos. This area right here is all about the transformation. A lot of course creators get really wrapped up in creating, they want to create course and content and just kind of spill all their, you know, hard-won life experience and information into a giant course. But really what it's all about is a certain transformation you take your learner through. So this kind of gets you thinking in that way. We've got some social proof area from some student testimonials. This area here is what I call the 3 pillars, or it's kind of like the 3 things or the 3 ways that you teach that makes your course different. So when you're thinking about positioning and, you know, the secret sauce of what makes your program actually work, it's good to come up with these kind of 3 core ideas. Just like you might have remembered me saying earlier that LifterLMS helps you to create, launch, and scale. Those are high value online learning platforms. That's an example of a 3-pillar statement that you can incorporate into your web design. Also, this is an area where you put in like, well, what do they actually get? Like, it's an online course, but what's in there? We've got video lessons, coaching, and community. Then we've got the course curriculum so that people can see. This can also be hidden if you don't want people to see this until they've made the purchase. So that's totally up to you. And then we get into like the different types of people. Some people call them segments or avatars that purchase this course and get value from it. Then we have an area about who is the instructor here. What are they all about? We've got the pricing. Then we have the sales FAQs. And then the final call to action. which is basically the cost of inaction. So the opportunity cost of not moving forward, what that might look like. And then again, we have our final call to action with the pricing and the guarantee, and the the e-commerce trust icons. So this is like I don't know, maybe 15 years of marketing, sales, conversion, studying, and seeing what works, what doesn't work, to develop this kind of formula. So this is all baked into LifterLMS to help you with your sales pages. Now, if we jump into the course, if we go actually inside here, we can see we have this sidebar. So LifterLMS has a couple of widgets that come available for the sidebar, related to courses and lesson layouts. So if you have a sidebar on either your course or lesson layout, you can use these widgets. And these are really helpful for your learners to both see where they're at in terms of their progress. Like if I were to complete that lesson, you can see I'm making progress and I can see what I've already completed, and so on. So these are sidebar widgets. If you're setting those up, you just go into the back and you go into appearance widgets. And that was a lesson that we were on, and you can see here is the course progress widget, and here is the syllabus widget, and this is where I made it collapsible so that only the section or module that I'm in was open. When you hit the plus button here, you just do a search for progress. So there's the progress widget. And if you do a search for syllabus or course, you'll find the course syllabus widget. So you can set that up. It's super easy. We were looking at a course that had no sidebar. Like this actual course page does not have a sidebar. It could if we wanted to, but we chose in this scenario to have no sidebar on the course, but we did have sidebars on the lessons. If we go to another course like the LifterLMS Quick Start course here, you can see this is just a more simple course without a big sales page. And we've got the sidebars going over here. So that's how sidebars work. And anywhere, we do recommend using them on lessons so that people can easily navigate. But also keep in mind that the student dashboard here is also going to have a bunch of information, and people can kind of pick up where they left off and all that. So that is sidebars. The next thing I wanted to look at with you is multimedia content. So LifterLMS is built on top of WordPress. WordPress is a content management system. So because of that, WordPress is very good at empowering people to really put whatever kind of content they want onto the screen, onto a page. The LMS comes in with LifterLMS and allows you to structure that content and have the progress tracking and really design learning experiences through courses and whatnot. So you can see here, we have a quiz. I'm just going to go through it. See, something's up with my mouse on that one. I'm not sure what's going on. We have assignments. It looks like I still need to actually hook that one up. I'll just jump to the multimedia parts. So this is an example of video content right here. You can do audio content, lesson with text and images, embedded PDFs. So this is PDF content. You can do PowerPoints. You have to install that. There was a PowerPoint plugin I was using for that one. So you'd have to add that plugin. This is tabbed content, and it's just showing that you can have all kinds of different types of information inside tabs. And this is an example of some interactive content made with a tool called H5P. So there's really no limit to what you can put inside of a course. I'm going to go back in here and go find our course there. So that was the multimedia course. This is the LifterLMS course builder. And here's a lesson with a quiz. So you can see here, I could just start building out, quiz, putting different types of question types in there. If I want to do an assignment, I don't have the assignments activated right now, but you can basically do task lists. People can upload things. People can write essays and that sort of thing. So that is assignments. And the next thing I wanted to look at with you is gamification. So LifterLMS has this feature called engagements, which we'll look at. And essentially what happens is there's all these triggering events that you can tie into. So a student becomes a new user on the site, they purchase a particular plan, they enroll in a course, complete a course, pass or fail a quiz, complete a section, complete a track, which is a group of courses, enroll in a membership, purchase a membership, and so on. And what we can do with those is at those moments, we can trigger certain things to happen. So in this case, we're creating a achievement badge, which is going to pop up and display on the student dashboard. We could design a certificate. This is all about to change literally today. It might be happening while we're on this call. LifterLMS 6.0 is rolling out, which completely modernizes the certificate builder here with the WordPress block editor. So that's, how you create, make the learning a little more fun with achievement badges, or maybe you're providing some kind of certification, whether it's official, like a college degree, or a continuing ed certificate for mandatory hours to keep a license or something like that. Or maybe it's just a fun certificate just to make it more exciting. Then there's emails where you can essentially send personalized emails based on triggering events. Like when somebody, let's say, completes a really hard lesson, you could have a personalized email that goes out automatically instantly when they do that. So that's the email engagement system. So gamification is a big part of LifterLMS. And the next thing I want to look at with you is the e-commerce / membership aspects. So if I were to create a course, I'm just going to create a brand new course right here. I'll just call it Awesome Course. And I'll just go ahead and give it a image. And we'll just go ahead and publish that. And then over here with the course builder, this is how easy it is to, start building the actual outline of a course. I'm just essentially creating 3 sections with 3 lessons. You can just come in here and just start modifying it. You can even literally build your entire course from this screen. So like if I'm working with a video host like Vimeo Pro and I got all my lesson videos up there, I could just drop them in here and start building out the lessons. From this screen, I could start adding quizzes and so on. So let's look at what we've got so far. You can see here, we've got our course coming together. Now let's look at the e-commerce piece. Let me back out of here, go back to the WordPress editor for this course. And over here in the access plans, this is where you set up like the ability for people to buy LifterLMS from you or buy your course from you. So let's say we have, this is a course, but we could also be doing it for a membership or a coaching package or whatever we're calling it. I'm just going to title this one-time payment. And this one is $1,000. And we'll go ahead and click save. And that's right here. And I'm going to add another one, which is the payment plan. And that one is $100 every month for 12 months. So there's that one. And then we'll do a coaching, private coaching upsell. And that one is a one-time payment of $10,000. So you can see how we've literally, within about a minute or two, we've created a course, we've created an outline, we've created the ability for somebody to purchase this. And if we were pre-selling this, as an example, we could put a future start date on here. So I'm on the restrictions settings for the course. And this course, let's say, starts on April 1st. So now people can go ahead and buy it, but they can't get inside the lessons yet. So this is how you do what's known as a product launch or pre-selling a course before you're necessarily done creating it. And look how we can create that in just a matter of minutes. So that's the beauty of LifterLMS. You know, there's really this whole area here, LifterLMS, memberships, engagements, orders. This is the area where all the LifterLMS things are. You know, there's a lot going on here. We've got the student reporting. You can collect custom information as people register and display that information on the website or in places like certificates and so on. It's really powerful. There's likely not a scenario of pricing or kind of course online learning platform creation use case that you couldn't do with LifterLMS. So again, the cool thing here is you have to have good, high quality web hosting if you're going to launch a learning platform on top of WordPress. And my hat's off to Cloudways and the Cloudways team. This is something they took on their own to build a leading solution for LifterLMS. It makes it easy and removes all the friction for people to get started with LifterLMS and even to try everything out for free, including their hosting, including the LifterLMS Infinity bundle. You can do it all through their what they call the bundle here. So, and if you came late to the call, I just put a link in the chat to the bundle here so that you can try that out. And I believe they, if you're looking to switch and you're not happy with your existing host, they even manage the whole migration for you to get your website over to Cloudways. And I just see people raving about the support from Cloudways. So go check that out. Yeah, there's also, we'll put a link in the chat to the LifterLMS Facebook group. If you're not in there, jump in there. There's lots of happy Cloudways users in there if you want to talk to people. Also, just good to network with the LifterLMS community. So if you're going to build a learning management system with WordPress, hosting is a critical piece of your website platform infrastructure. So don't make that decision lightly. And just the cool thing about Cloudways too is that not only are they known for having the good support, easy to get started with LifterLMS, and you know, the affordable pricing is really the icing on the cake. And you can just, if your site takes off and you start getting, you know, tens and hundreds of thousands of people coming to your site at the same time, and your server needs to be more powerful, they make it easy to scale up and all that kind of thing. But you can get going and it can scale with you. That's probably the best feature of working with Cloudways. And I just hear over and over again people switching, saying how much they like the Cloudways support and how fast and high quality the hosting is. So that is my tour for you on how to create an LMS site using high quality, affordable WordPress hosting. I'm happy to take any questions. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Happy to answer anything about LifterLMS or hosting. Just let me know. Stop sharing my screen for a second. Anything at all. And if you're, I'm curious in the group, if you already have web hosting, what are you using? Let me know in the chat. We'll love to hear. And you know, hosting is one of those things that, you know, if you're good, if you're with something and you're pretty happy with it, it might not make sense to switch, but it's always good to keep an eye on the landscape of how it's going. For example, I did notice about 2 years ago, we saw a lot of LifterLMS users using a web hosting company called SiteGround. And then some of their experiences started to decline. And then we literally had to stop recommending them because people were having a hard time in Cloudways, or not Cloudways, SiteGround. Users weren't able to get their issues resolved, and we weren't able to work with them in a way to solve the new issues that had come from one of their upgrades or whatever. So it's always good to keep an eye on the hosting market and see what's good. So Jose says he's on GoDaddy, but wants to try Cloudways. Yeah, it's always good to branch out, try it out. I know in my time as a WordPress professional, you know, right now I personally have a Bluehost account, a Cloudways account, a WP Engine account, and then LifterLMS.com is actually hosted on Pagely, which was acquired by GoDaddy. So I'm all over the place. But if I was starting on a brand new project today, I would drop in on Cloudways after what I've seen from them and their team. Ronaldo's been using Nexus, which is also a high quality host that we recommend. Chris says he has a live and a test site, but has them on different hosts. That sounds more challenging. You know, I agree with you. It's better to have them on one host if you can do that. Cool. Awesome. Well, we're going to draw our winner here in a second and then wrap up this kind of walkthrough of LifterLMS on Cloudways. And it was Adrian Valentine is the winner of a free year of one of our $120 per year LifterLMS add-ons. So congratulations to you, Adrian. Check the chat. There's just an email, team@lifterlms.com, and we will hook you up with your winnings. So congratulations to Adrian Valentine. We also put a link. Hey, you're welcome, Adrian. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming. if you come in the market for hosting again, highly recommend checking out Cloudways. It's the most advanced integration I've seen from a web host in terms of making it easy on LifterLMS users. And I keep seeing people really happy with it, right? Even if they're, whether they're a, do-it-yourself course creator, expert entrepreneur, or they're a WordPress professional who's building LMS websites for clients. So try LifterLMS and Cloudways. There's the link in the chat. Also, keep your eyes out on social media and your email inbox for the LifterLMS 6.0 news. You'll start seeing more activity around that. Like I said, LifterLMS 6.0 is releasing today. We are going to be doing another webinar about that specifically. So look for an invite to come from that in the next couple of weeks. But I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks for checking out this presentation. Kathy, thanks for helping put this on, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm Chris from LifterLMS, and that was a presentation on how to do high quality, affordable LMS hosting in WordPress. Have a great rest of your day.